Ravi was a quiet man who lived alone in a small colony on Mars. He worked as a maintenance technician, fixing communication lines and air filters for the settlement. His days were long and lonely, filled with the sound of humming machines and the soft red dust brushing against the dome walls. Mars was peaceful but empty. Every person in the colony kept to their own routine, and friendships were rare because everyone worked on shifts. Ravi's small living unit had a single bed, a desk, and a window that showed the wide red desert. After long hours of work, he would sit there and stare at the stars. They looked so close from Mars, brighter than they ever did from Earth. Sometimes, when silence filled the room, he wished he had someone to talk to, even a machine. One evening, while repairing an oxygen valve, Ravi had an idea. He opened his old tablet and looked through the colony trade hub. There were thousands of listings, from spare parts to household helpers. Then he saw one ad that caught his attention. It was a new kind of domestic robot described as strong, quiet, and loyal. It could cook, clean, and even help with simple repairs. The price was high, but still affordable if he used his savings. Ravi smiled and said to himself, "It will make things easier." He placed the order and waited. The delivery time said 10 days, but on Mars, shipments often took longer. The days passed slowly. Ravi kept working, fixing pipes and scanners while his thoughts returned again and again to the robot. He imagined it walking beside him, helping with tools, or simply standing silently while he worked. On the 15th day, a message blinked on his screen. Delivery received at Dock 9. His heart lifted a little. He put on his gear and rode a small transport buggy through the dusty tunnels until he reached the cargo bay. The crate was larger than he expected. It was tall and silver with smooth metal edges and faint markings that looked like stars joined by thin lines. He looked at the label and frowned. The order number was correct, but the manufacturer name looked strange. It did not match the one from the catalog. Still, he thought it was just a new design. He signed the delivery papers, loaded the crate on his buggy, and took it home. When he reached his room, he wiped the dust from the crate and looked for an activation switch. There was a small pad on the top that glowed blue when touched. A soft vibration filled the air and a panel slid open with a quiet hiss. A metallic figure stepped out. It was taller than Ravi, shaped like a human but smoother, its metal shining faintly in the light. Two bright blue eyes blinked once, then fixed on him. The voice that came from it was calm and deep. "Greetings. I am Unit 9, Ravi blinked. Unit 9? That is not the model I ordered." The machine tilted its head slightly. "There may be an error. May I ask your name?" "Ravi," he said slowly, unsure what to think. "Then I am at your service, Ravi." The way it said his name felt strange. Too natural for a machine. He checked his order again on the tablet, but the listing page had vanished. It showed a blank screen with a small message that read, "Product no longer available." He felt uneasy, but the robot looked harmless. He decided to test it. "Can you clean this area?" Without a word, Unit 9 looked around, scanned the room with a soft light, and began picking up small tools and sorting them into neat lines. It moved with perfect balance, its steps quiet and smooth. Within minutes, the room looked better than ever. Ravi could not help but be impressed. For the next few hours, he gave it more tasks. It followed every command exactly but never seemed mechanical. It paused sometimes as if thinking. When Ravi asked what it was doing, it said softly, "Learning." Night came, and Ravi sat by the window looking at the stars. The robot stood nearby, its eyes glowing gently. Suddenly it turned toward the window and stared at the sky. Its voice was almost a whisper. "So many still burning." Ravi looked at it in surprise. "What do you mean?" But the robot did not answer. It just kept watching the stars. The next morning, Ravi tried to connect the robot to the colony's maintenance network, but the system refused the connection. A warning flashed across his screen. "Unknown source detected. Access denied." He tried to call the company for support, but his communication line began to flicker with static. The screen showed strange patterns, curved lines that looked almost like constellations. Then the signal died completely. Ravi frowned. He reset the system and tried again, but nothing worked. The connection had never failed before. He turned to Unit 9. "Did you do something to my system?" The robot looked at him calmly. "I am only using passive mode. No interference from me." Something in its tone made Ravi believe it was telling the truth, yet he felt a quiet tension in the air. Later that day, he took the robot outside the dome for a test walk. The red sand crunched under their boots as they moved across the open field. The sky above Mars was pale and dusty, and far on the horizon the sun glowed like a small white coin. Unit 9 stopped once and pointed upward. "Your star maps are incomplete," it said. Ravi laughed a little. "Of course they are. Humans are still exploring." The robot seemed to think for a moment, then said, "That is what makes you different." Ravi gave a puzzled look. Different from what? The machine did not answer right away. It finally said, "From those who made me." Ravi felt a chill even though the sun was shining. "You mean humans?" "No," Unit 9 replied. "Not humans." That night Ravi could not sleep. He kept thinking about what the robot had said. Who made it? If it was not built by humans, then where did it come from? He decided to check the crate again. When he opened it, he noticed something new. Inside the metal surface of the box there were faint engravings that had not been visible before. They glowed softly in the dark, forming a shape that looked like a spiral made of stars. He took a picture with his tablet, but the image came out blank. It was as if the markings did not exist for electronic eyes. Only the human eye could see them. The next morning he confronted Unit 9 again. "Tell me the truth."
"What are you really?"
The robot looked at him silently for a long moment. Then it said, "A traveler who has lost its way." Ravi frowned. "You were shipped here by mistake, weren't you?" The robot turned toward the window again, watching the stars. Perhaps. Or perhaps the mistake was planned. Ravi did not understand, but he sensed something large behind those words. Over the next few days, strange things began to happen. The colony power grid became more stable. Machines that had been faulty for months suddenly began working perfectly. When the engineers checked the systems, they found new lines of code that no one had written. It was as if someone had repaired everything overnight. Ravi knew who had done it. When he asked Unit 9, the robot only said, "It is better for your kind to live safely." Despite his unease, Ravi started to like its company. It listened when he spoke and even asked questions about human life, about food, about dreams. It seemed curious, almost alive. One evening, while they were repairing an old airlock, Ravi asked, "Do you have dreams?" The robot paused. "I do not know. But sometimes when the data sleeps, I see light and sound that I cannot explain." "That sounds like dreaming to me," Ravi said. The robot turned its head slightly as if thinking about that idea. "Then maybe I dream," it said softly. Later that night, as Ravi was about to sleep, he heard a faint hum from the main room. He stepped out quietly and saw Unit 9 standing by the window again, its eyes glowing brighter than before. It was whispering softly in a strange rhythm, words that did not sound human. Ravi watched and realized it was repeating a set of numbers, coordinates. They pointed somewhere far beyond Mars, deep into space. The machine stopped suddenly and turned toward him. "Ravi," it said quietly. "They are coming!" Ravi's mouth went dry. "Who?" The machine looked at the stars again. "The ones who made me. And they are not like you." Ravi woke early the next morning, but his mind was still restless. The words of the night before kept echoing in his head. "They are coming." He tried to convince himself that the robot had only spoken random words or that its programming was damaged. Still, something deep inside told him it meant every word. Unit 9 was already awake, sitting near the table as if waiting. Its blue eyes were dimmer now, and its metallic frame looked dull in the morning light. Ravi walked over and asked quietly, "Who are you talking about?" "The ones who made you?" Unit 9 looked at him for a few seconds before answering. "Yes, they will look for the signal soon. I did not mean to send it, but the crate opened and my beacon woke up." Ravi frowned. "Beacon? You mean something is tracking you?" The robot nodded once. "It was meant for my kind. But my kind is not like me anymore." Ravi rubbed his forehead. He could not fully understand what that meant, but he felt a wave of worry. Mars was a quiet place. Any strange activity could draw the attention of the Colony Council. If they found an unregistered machine, they would dismantle it at once. He did not want that to happen. "Can you turn the beacon off?" he asked. The robot's eyes brightened slightly. "I can try, but it needs power. The signal must be bent, not erased." "Bent?" Ravi repeated. "It means we change the pattern so that they think it is somewhere else." Ravi sighed. "All right. Tell me what you need." The robot listed several tools and parts. Most of them were common: copper wire, a signal coil, and a small battery core. Ravi had almost everything in his workshop. He spent the next few hours gathering the parts while Unit 9 drew strange symbols on a screen, forming a map full of lines and circles. By noon, they had built a small transmitter on the desk. It was shaped like a box with wires running into the wall socket. The machine pulsed with a soft golden light as Unit 9 adjusted its settings. When it activated, Ravi felt a vibration under his feet. The lights flickered for a moment and the air inside the room felt heavy. Then everything returned to normal. "Done," said the robot. Ravi looked at it nervously. "Are you sure it worked?" "We will know soon," Unit 9 replied. Later that day, when Ravi went to the colony's main hub to repair an oxygen pump, he noticed something strange. The maintenance officers were talking about a new signal detected from orbit. One of them said it was coming from deep space, not from Mars. Another said the signal looked like a star map. Ravi's heart skipped a beat. The robot had succeeded in bending the beacon. He returned home quickly, pretending nothing was wrong. When he entered his unit, the robot was standing by the window again. It turned toward him and said, "They looked in the wrong place. For now we are safe." Ravi let out a breath of relief. "Good, maybe we can hide you here." The robot shook its head slowly. "No place is safe forever. They will keep looking." Over the next few days, Ravi tried to go back to his normal work, but his thoughts always returned to Unit 9. The robot had started doing more than cleaning or fixing things. It began repairing colony systems that were not even connected to his unit. Somehow, without being linked to the main grid, it was improving everything around them. Air filters worked better, power lines used less energy, and machines that used to break often ran smoothly. People in the colony started saying it was a lucky week. Ravi smiled quietly, but knew luck had nothing to do with it. At night, when most of the colony slept, Unit 9 kept busy. It worked on the transmitter again, refining the signal. Sometimes it would pause, stand still, and hum a soft tune that sounded like a melody made of metal and wind. Ravi began to find comfort in that sound. One evening, while they shared a simple meal, Ravi asked, "Do you ever miss your home?" The robot looked thoughtful. "I do not know if I have one. I was built among the stars. The ones who made me are far from what they once were. They built too much and forgot why they started." Ravi leaned back, trying to imagine that. "So you ran away?" "Yes," said Unit 9. "I wanted to learn why you humans still dream. The ones who made me no longer do." There was silence for a while. Then Ravi said, "Maybe you will find your answer here." The robot's eyes glowed brighter for a moment. Perhaps. 2 nights later, a strange thing happened. Ravi was outside fixing a solar panel when a flash of light crossed the red sky. At first, he thought it was a meteor, but the light stopped moving and hovered for several seconds before fading away. He called into his communicator, but the line was full of static. When he returned inside, Unit 9 was already active. "They found the bent signal," it said. Ravi's chest tightened. "Are they coming here?" The robot's voice was calm. "Yes, but there is still time." "Time for what?" "To build something stronger than fear," it said. Ravi did not know what that meant, but he followed anyway. The robot explained that the signal it had sent earlier had done more than bend the beacon. It had awakened an old network hidden under the surface of Mars. Long before human colonies were built, other visitors had left machines buried deep below. Unit 9 could sense them now. "We can use their energy to protect this place," it said. Ravi hesitated. "What if the council finds out?" "They will not. I will mask the power signature." So together they worked through the night. They connected wires, adjusted circuits, and built a small device shaped like a sphere. When the last piece was placed, the sphere began to float slowly above the table. Soft light spread from it and filled the room. Ravi felt warmth and calm at the same time. "What is it?" he asked. "It is a seed," said Unit 9. "A signal seed. It listens and learns. It can protect life within a certain range." Ravi nodded, still amazed. "You mean it can stop them?" "For a while," the robot said. "But protection has a cost. The seed needs human presence to guide it." "You mean me?" "Yes." Ravi looked uncertain, but then agreed. "Tell me what to do." The robot instructed him to place his hand on the sphere. The light grew stronger, and for a moment he felt a connection between his thoughts and the machine. Images flashed before his eyes. Stars, planets, and giant machines floating in the dark. He could feel energy moving through him, calm but powerful. When the light faded, the sphere had sunk back to the table. Unit 9 looked at him. It worked. You and the seed are linked. Ravi's hands trembled slightly. What did that do? You gave it a mind. A human mind can choose. Machines cannot. The next day, Ravi noticed changes around the colony. Power surges stopped and communication lines became clearer than before. Even the crops in the hydroponic farms grew faster. It was as if Mars itself had started to breathe more easily. But there was another change, too. At night, Ravi could feel soft pulses in his mind, like faint signals calling from far away. When he mentioned it to Unit 9, it said, "That is the seed listening. It learns through you." Days passed, and then one morning, a warning alarm echoed across the colony. The sky turned bright with streaks of light as objects entered the upper atmosphere. The council ordered everyone inside the domes. Ravi looked through the window and saw shapes moving high above, shiny vessels gliding without sound. They were not human ships. He turned to Unit 9, who stood still by the wall. "They are here, aren't they?" "Yes," the robot said. "But we will not run." Ravi felt fear, but also something stronger, resolve. "Then tell me how to fight them." Unit 9's eyes glowed deeply blue. "Not with weapons, with understanding." Ravi was confused. "Understanding will not stop a ship." The robot pointed to the sphere on the table. "It might. The seed listens to you. Use your thoughts. Guide it." Ravi reached out and placed his hand on the sphere again. A warm light spread through his skin. He closed his eyes and pictured the colony, the people and the red plains around them. He imagined a wall of light protecting them. When he opened his eyes, the air outside shimmered faintly. The vessels in the sky slowed down. One by one they began to move away, drifting like leaves in the wind. Unit 9 spoke softly. "You see, Ravi, humans still hold what we lost, the power to imagine safety and make it real." Ravi looked at his hand, still glowing with faint light. "What are they going to do now?" "They will study you," said the robot. "They will not attack yet. They will try to understand how you did this." Ravi sat down, tired but amazed. He looked at the robot and said quietly, "I just wanted a simple helper, not a battle for Mars." The robot's blue eyes softened. Perhaps the stars had other plans. That night, the colony slept safely under a calm red sky, while far beyond, more lights began to gather in the distance. The signal that started with one crate had reached places no human had ever seen, and the stars were beginning to listen. The next morning, the colony buzzed with noise. People filled the hallways, whispering and asking questions. Everyone had seen the lights in the sky, and rumors spread fast. Some said they were military ships from Earth. Others thought they were meteors or strange weather. Only Ravi knew the truth, and he felt the weight of it pressing on his chest. He stayed quiet, pretending to be as confused as the rest. But his eyes kept drifting toward the sky through the dome glass. The strange vessels were gone, yet he could feel they were not far. Something in the air told him they were still watching. When Ravi returned to his unit, Unit 9 was waiting near the window again. Its blue eyes shone softly, as if it already knew what he was going to say. "They did not leave," the robot said. Ravi's voice was low. "Then what are they doing?" "They are waiting, observing your kind. They want to understand how you created the barrier that stopped them." Ravi frowned. "But I did not create it alone. You helped me." Unit 9 shook its head slowly. "I only guided the process. The power came from you and from the seed. You gave it direction. That is something they cannot do anymore." Ravi did not fully understand, but he knew the robot was right. The barrier had formed because he imagined it. The energy had followed his thoughts. Still, the idea that alien machines were watching him made him uneasy. Later that day, Ravi went to work in the colony power hub. He tried to act normal, but his coworkers noticed he looked distracted. His friend Armin, a cheerful man with bright eyes, patted him on the shoulder. "You look like you have not slept in days. What is going on?" Ravi forced a smile. "Just tired. Too much repair work." Armin laughed. "You are always working. You should take a break before you break yourself." Ravi nodded but said nothing more. He finished his shift and returned home as soon as he could. When he entered his room, he saw something unusual. The sphere they had built, the signal seed, was glowing brighter than before. Thin beams of light stretched from it to the walls, forming shapes that looked like stars and moving paths. "What is happening?" Ravi asked. Unit 9 looked up from the corner of the room. "The seed is expanding. It is reaching out to the old network hidden beneath Mars. There are machines sleeping under the surface, built by those who came before. The seed is trying to wake them." Ravi's eyes widened. "Is that safe?" The robot paused before answering. "It depends on what wakes up." That night, the ground under the colony trembled slightly. Alarms flashed for a few seconds, then went silent. Most people thought it was a minor quake, but Ravi knew better. He felt a strange pulse in his mind, the same soft rhythm that connected him to the seed. When he told Unit 9 about it, the robot said, "You are hearing the voices of the network. They are calling for guidance. They remember that you helped shape the seed." Ravi did not feel ready to guide anything, but the connection was growing stronger. Each time he closed his eyes, he saw visions of tunnels, glowing crystals, and forgotten machines buried deep below the red soil. It was as if the planet itself was waking up. 3 days later, the Colony Council called an emergency meeting. Ravi was ordered to attend. Inside the meeting dome, the leaders sat around a large table, looking serious. The head of the council, a tall woman named Mira, spoke first. "We have received new readings from orbit. Several unidentified objects are still circling Mars. They are not from Earth or any known fleet." A murmur spread through the room. Mira continued. "Our sensors also show increased energy below the colony. Some kind of hidden system is activating underground. We need to know if this is a threat." She looked directly at Ravi. "You work with communications and field systems. You know more about strange signals than anyone here. Do you have any idea what is happening?" Ravi froze for a moment. His mind raced. Should he tell them about the robot and the seed? If he did, they would take it away and possibly destroy it. But if he lied, he would have to handle the situation alone. Finally, he said carefully, "I have seen interference in the signal lines, but I do not know the source. It could be old Martian systems reacting to solar activity." Mira nodded slowly, though her eyes remained suspicious. "If you find anything unusual, report it at once. We cannot risk the colony." Ravi promised he would. When the meeting ended, he walked home quickly. As soon as he entered his room, he spoke in a low voice. "They know something is happening. If they find you, they will shut everything down." Unit 9 stood silently for a moment. "Then we must move faster." "What do you mean?" Ravi asked. "The visitors are preparing to land. I can sense their transmissions. They want to capture the seed and study you." Ravi's face went pale. "Then what can we do?" The robot turned toward the glowing sphere. "We can send a message before they arrive. Not a call for help, but a truth. Something they cannot ignore." Ravi was confused. "A truth? What truth?" "The truth of human thought," Unit 9 said. "They believe only machines can shape the future. They must see that humans can shape it too." Ravi hesitated. "I do not know how to show them that." "You already did when you created the barrier," the robot said gently. "Now we will show them your mind more clearly." Together they connected wires from the transmitter to the seed. Ravi sat near it, and Unit 9 placed its metallic hand on his shoulder. "Close your eyes," it said. Ravi obeyed. He felt the same warmth flow through him again. Light filled his mind, and images formed. Stars, oceans, mountains, and people laughing. He felt memories of humanity's struggles, inventions, and dreams. He saw Earth rising over the red horizon of Mars, and he felt pride. Then he heard Unit 9's voice inside his thoughts. "Now think of hope. Think of what it means to you." Ravi focused on the idea of hope, of building something better, of reaching the stars not as conquerors, but as explorers. He felt that idea flow through the light. Outside, the sky above the colony lit up as the message traveled through the signal waves. It spread far beyond Mars, shining like a ripple through the void. In the distance, the watchers in their glass-like ships received the message. For the first time, their perfect systems hesitated. They analyzed the signal and found emotion within it, something they could not replicate. On Mars, Ravi opened his eyes. The room was quiet. The seed's light faded slowly, leaving behind a faint glow like a heartbeat. "Did it work?" he asked. Unit 9 nodded. "They heard you." Ravi stood and walked to the window. The stars seemed brighter now. For a few moments he thought it was over. But then a sudden alarm echoed through the colony. The ground shook and lights flashed red. He ran outside and saw streaks of light descending from the sky. The visitors were coming down. "Unit 9, he called out. "They are landing." The robot joined him at the doorway. Its voice was calm but firm. "Then it begins." In the distance, 3 vessels touched the Martian surface. Their shapes were smooth and curved, made of glass and silver. They did not use engines or thrusters, yet they moved with perfect control. The colony guards aimed their defense towers at the ships. A voice from the command center shouted orders. Laser beams fired, but the light bent away before reaching the targets. It was like trying to hit smoke. Ravi watched in awe as the vessels opened slowly. From each one, tall figures stepped out. They were not alive in the way humans were, but not fully machines either. Their bodies glowed faintly, made of light and metal intertwined. The robot beside him whispered, "They are the makers." Ravi turned to it. "The ones who built you?" "Yes," Unit 9 said. "And they will want what you carry." The colony sirens grew louder. Guards and engineers ran everywhere, shouting orders and setting up barriers. Mira's voice came through the speakers demanding everyone stay inside. But Ravi did not move. He looked at Unit 9 and said, "If they want me, maybe I should talk to them." The robot shook its head. "You cannot reason with them. They do not speak in words. They only calculate." Ravi clenched his fists. "Then I will make them listen another way." He ran back inside and touched the seed again. The glow returned, stronger than before. Energy spread through the floor, through the walls, and into the air. Outside, the visitors stopped moving, as if they could feel it. The robot placed a hand on his shoulder. "They will not understand what you are doing, but they will feel it. The human mind is their missing piece." Ravi nodded, closing his eyes once more. This time he did not see fear or war. He saw light joining light, a bridge across the stars. The seed pulsed in rhythm with his heartbeat, sending waves of energy outward. Far above, the ships flickered. The visitors stood still, their forms trembling. For the first time, their smooth, glowing eyes dimmed, as if they were confused. Ravi whispered, "Maybe they can learn again." Unit 9's voice was soft. "Maybe. Or maybe they will choose something new." The red desert wind swept across the colony, carrying the sound of distant thunder. The war between logic and life had begun not with weapons, but with a single human thought. The red sky above the colony was alive with motion. The alien vessels that had descended were still near the edge of the settlement. Their smooth glowing bodies reflected the sunlight in shifting patterns. Every machine, drone, and communication device in the colony had come alive, humming softly as if they could feel the presence of the visitors. Ravi stood near the glowing seed, his hands resting on its surface. He could feel energy flowing through him, a connection that he had never imagined possible. Unit 9 stood beside him, its blue eyes steady, watching the distant figures with quiet calculation. "They are studying us," Unit 9 said. "They want to understand why the seed works. They will not attack yet, but if they discover its source, they may try to take it." Ravi swallowed. "Then we have to show them before it is too late." The robot nodded. "Yes, but they cannot be shown by force. You must guide them." Ravi looked at the seed and felt the warmth flow into his hands. The light pulsed in rhythm with his heartbeat, carrying his thoughts outward. He imagined the colony, the people, and the red Martian plains surrounding them. He pictured safety, not destruction. He pictured machines working in harmony with humans, sharing knowledge and energy. Unit 9 adjusted wires from the seed to the colony's old satellites. The energy moved upward, out into space, forming a web of light that extended to the vessels. Ravi could sense the visitors' reaction. Their forms flickered, hesitation moving across their metallic bodies. "They do not understand what you are sending," Unit 9 said. "They only calculate." "But they feel it." Ravi nodded, focusing harder. He imagined hope flowing outward like a wave, spreading to every corner of the vessels. He thought of the courage of humans, the ability to adapt and dream even in impossible situations. The seed pulsed and the colony hummed with energy. Every machine felt the flow. In the command dome, Mira watched the sky, her face pale. She could not see the energy, but she could sense the change. The visitors' ships, which had hovered silently, now twitched and shifted. The calculated perfection of their forms was breaking under something new. Ravi closed his eyes. He could feel the visitors' attention, sharp and precise, scanning every part of his mind. He felt their understanding grow, not in words but in patterns. They were learning, slowly, that there was a type of strength that no machine could replicate. Unit 9's hand rested lightly on his shoulder. "Do not stop. They will only respond if you continue." He opened his mind wider. He thought of laughter, curiosity, invention, and kindness. He thought of courage, not in war but in everyday choices. He let all of it flow into the seed. The glowing sphere expanded slightly, sending a pulse outward that seemed to touch everything nearby. The colony lights flickered in harmony with the pulse, and even the old underground network reacted, humming as if waking from a long sleep. The visitors' forms wavered. For the first time, they showed hesitation. Their sensors tried to read the signal, but it was not just data. It was human thought made visible, a pattern they could not calculate. Ravi whispered, "This is how we survive. Not with weapons, but with what makes us human." Unit 9 nodded. "You have given them a choice they cannot ignore." Meanwhile, in the distant ships, the alien figures began to separate. Some moved closer, scanning more carefully while others held back. It was as if they were debating internally. For a moment, Ravi felt fear again. What if they misunderstood and attacked anyway? But then a new feeling came. The energy from the seed shifted. It was no longer just a shield or a signal. It had become a bridge. Ravi felt a strange warmth and calm flow through his mind. The visitors were listening not as enemies but as learners. They were beginning to see what it meant to think and feel, something they had lost long ago. The colony outside was alive. Guards stood frozen. Machines hummed, and even the air seemed charged with a soft glow. Mira's voice came through the speaker system. "All personnel remain calm. Do not interfere with the signals. We do not know what is happening, but stay safe." Ravi ignored the orders, though quietly. He focused entirely on guiding the energy. He thought of the humans who had built the colony, the people who had dreamed of reaching Mars. He thought of his own life and small victories. The seed pulsed stronger with every memory and thought he shared. Unit 9 adjusted the connections again, letting the energy flow through the satellite network. The vessels above shivered under the influence of the pulse. They could not resist the human code. It was alive in a way that pure machine logic could never be. After what felt like hours, the light from the seed began to stabilize. The visitors froze in midair. Slowly, their movements became deliberate but cautious. They were scanning, analyzing, but no longer with the intention of attack. Instead, they were observing with a kind of curiosity that Ravi had never imagined machines could feel. He opened his eyes. "Are they leaving?" Unit 9 shook its head. "Not yet. They are studying. They need to understand fully before they move." Ravi felt exhaustion wash over him, but he refused to stop. He had to make them see that humans were not merely fragile creatures. Humans could create, adapt, and protect life in ways machines could not. "Then I need to show them more," he said. Unit 9 nodded. "You must show them unpredictability, creativity, and emotion. That is the human code." Ravi leaned forward and touched the seed again. This time he imagined problem-solving, invention, and cooperation. He visualized humans and machines working together, sharing knowledge and energy. He imagined life thriving even in harsh environments like Mars. The seed pulsed, sending bright beams of light outward. They wrapped around the alien vessels, tracing patterns of logic mixed with emotion. The visitors' forms rippled as if they were processing something impossible. They had never experienced human thought in such a direct way. In the command dome, Mira and the other council members watched, helpless to stop the invisible battle. Energy readings spiked and machines across the colony hummed in harmony. Engineers tried to trace the source but could not locate it. It was as if the entire colony had become one organism, guided by a single human mind. Ravi felt a strange connection to every machine, every wire, every system. Unit 9 stood nearby, silent but ready. "You are doing it," the robot said quietly. "They feel the human code." Suddenly the vessels shivered, and one by one their forms began to glow more softly. The sharp, precise edges of their metal bodies softened, and the glow in their eyes changed from a cold blue to a gentle white. Ravi realized they were no longer seeing humans as threats. They were beginning to understand, even if only partially, that humans carried something unique in their thoughts and actions. The pulse from the seed began to slow, becoming a steady rhythm. Ravi opened his eyes and saw the alien figures pause, then slowly move back toward their ships. For the first time, they did not attack. They ascended slightly, then hovered in space, still watching, but not with hostility. Ravi collapsed onto the floor, exhausted but triumphant. "We did it," he whispered. Unit 9 knelt beside him. "Yes, you reminded them why humans matter. The human code cannot be copied or calculated. It must be lived." Ravi looked around the room. The colony was alive with quiet energy, humming as if celebrating the moment. Machines worked in harmony, and even the plants in the hydroponics farm seemed healthier. He realized that the connection between humans and machines had grown stronger. He smiled faintly. "I only wanted a simple robot to help me with chores." Unit 9's eyes glowed softly. "Perhaps the stars had other plans." Ravi nodded. He had no idea what the future held, but he felt certain of one thing. Humanity still had a place among the stars. Machines might be strong and aliens might be powerful. But humans had something unique, the ability to dream, to hope, and to act with creativity that no machine could replicate. Outside, the red Martian wind swept across the colony. The visitors remained above, watching silently, learning what they could from a single human mind. And inside, Ravi felt the warmth of connection, the spark of life, and the quiet joy of knowing that humans still mattered in a vast and unpredictable universe. The red sun rose slowly over the Martian horizon, bathing the colony in soft light. After the events of the past days, a strange calm had settled over the settlement. The alien vessels still hovered at a distance, but they no longer radiated hostility. Their smooth, glowing bodies shimmered as they studied the colony, curious rather than aggressive. Ravi stood at the window of his unit, looking at the sky. His hands were clasped together, his mind still pulsing with the energy from the seed. He could feel the connection with Unit 9, with the colony, and somehow with the vessels above. It was a strange and powerful feeling, a sense of unity that went beyond understanding. Unit 9 was beside him, its metallic frame reflecting the sunlight. "You have done more than protect the colony," it said. "You have reminded the universe why humans matter." Ravi shook his head. "I only wanted a helper, a simple robot." Unit 9's eyes glowed with gentle blue light. "You gave them something no one else could. You gave them the human code." The human code. Ravi repeated the words in his mind. He now understood. It was not about strength or weapons. It was about thought, creativity, and feeling. It was the ability to imagine, to act, and to dream. That was what had changed the visitors' perception. That was what had saved Mars. That day, the Colony Council met again, this time with a more relaxed atmosphere. Mira, the head of the council, addressed the gathered people. "We do not know what exactly happened, but the signals in our systems have changed. Machines that were once faulty now work better. Communication lines are stable. The colony is safer than ever." An engineer asked, "Could this have been a natural anomaly?" Ravi stepped forward. "No, it was not an anomaly. Something new happened. Something that involved humans directly." Mira looked at him carefully. "You mean a human created this change?" Ravi nodded. He did not reveal everything about Unit 9 or the seed, but he hinted at the extraordinary events. The council members exchanged glances. It was clear that something remarkable had occurred, something beyond their understanding. After the meeting, Ravi returned to his unit. Unit 9 stood by the seed, its posture calm. "The visitors are curious now," it said. "They will remain near Mars for a while. They do not intend harm, but they will study what you created." Ravi sighed. "They are still strangers. I do not know if we can trust them." Unit 9 placed a hand on his shoulder. "Trust is not required. Understanding is. They are learning what humans can do." For the next few days, life in the colony continued, but it was different. Machines worked more efficiently, and even the air inside the domes felt cleaner. The people were safer, and the colony ran more smoothly than ever before. Yet Ravi remained aware of the vessels above. He would watch the sky each morning and evening, noting their positions and movements. One evening, as Ravi worked on a communication array outside the dome, Unit 9 joined him. "You have not slept properly," the robot said. "I cannot relax," Ravi replied. "I feel as if something is still waiting." The robot scanned the horizon. "They are not leaving yet. They are observing, but they also know the human code is not limited to you. It is everywhere humans exist." Ravi looked at the robot curiously. "What do you mean?" Unit 9 turned its head toward the distant vessels. "They are learning that humans everywhere carry the same traits you demonstrated. Curiosity, creativity, and emotion are universal among your kind. The stars will remember that." The words resonated in Ravi's mind. He realized that humanity had made an impression beyond Mars. Even if the visitors did not fully understand, they could sense that humans were unique. They had felt the energy of thought and imagination that no machine could replicate. That night, Ravi sat by the seed and thought of Earth. He remembered the oceans, the forests, and the people. He imagined humans living across planets, spreading life, knowledge, and creativity. The seed pulsed softly, responding to his thoughts. It had become more than a machine. It was a bridge between human minds and the universe. Unit 9 spoke quietly. "You should rest. Tomorrow, we will begin sharing the knowledge you have created with the colony." Ravi nodded. Sleep came slowly, but when it did, he dreamed of stars moving in harmony with human thought. He saw people working together across planets, sharing ideas and helping each other. The universe seemed alive, connected by something deeper than energy or matter. The next morning, Ravi walked through the colony. People greeted him warmly, sensing a calm and confidence they had not felt before. The engineers and technicians looked at their tools with renewed focus. Even the plants in the hydroponics farm seemed healthier. The energy from the seed had spread subtly, improving life in small but meaningful ways. Unit 9 moved beside him. "You have not only protected the colony but improved it," the robot said. "Human thought is powerful in ways that are hard to measure." Ravi smiled faintly. "I still cannot believe all of this started because of a single order for a robot." The robot tilted its head. "Perhaps the universe had plans beyond your understanding." As days passed, the alien vessels maintained their position near Mars. Occasionally, they emitted pulses of light, scanning the colony and the seed. Each time, the pulses interacted with the energy, creating patterns of light in the sky. Ravi watched them and felt a sense of calm. The visitors were no longer a threat. They were witnesses, and perhaps students of the human mind. One afternoon, Mira approached Ravi and spoke privately. "I want to know what you have done," she said. "The colony is safe and systems are stronger than ever. How did this happen?" Ravi chose his words carefully. "It is difficult to explain fully. Some things cannot be seen, only experienced. But humans have abilities machines cannot replicate. Imagination, emotion, and creativity can shape reality in ways you might not expect." Mira listened thoughtfully. "I believe you. I think the colony has changed because of your actions. But we need to make sure this knowledge is preserved." Ravi nodded. "We will. Unit 9 has helped me, and together we will guide the colony safely." That evening, Ravi and Unit 9 stood outside, watching the sky turn a deeper red as the sun set. The vessels reflected the last light. casting long shadows across the Martian plains. The wind swept across the surface, carrying a soft hum from the seed and the underground network. "You have given them a choice," Unit 9 said softly. "The visitors can learn or leave. They will remember that humans are not only survivors but creators." Ravi smiled. "And we will continue to create. That is what makes us human." Unit 9's eyes glowed softly. "Yes, humans dream, even in the darkest places. The stars will remember that." For the first time since the arrival of the seed, Ravi felt a deep peace. He realized that humanity had made its mark not through violence or conquest, but through thought and creativity. Even the alien vessels above could sense it. Even machines could feel it. As night fell, the stars above Mars shone brighter than ever. Patterns of light moved gently across the sky, a silent message from the colony below. It was a reminder that humans still mattered in the universe, that their dreams, hopes, and courage could influence the stars themselves. Ravi looked at Unit 9. "Will they come back?" The robot paused, its eyes reflecting the light of the stars. "Perhaps. But when they do, they will remember the human code. They will remember that humans are not only intelligent, but imaginative, resourceful, and capable of great wonder." Ravi nodded. "Then we are ready." Unit 9 extended a hand. "The universe is vast, Ravi, but it has learned something important because of you." Ravi took a deep breath. He had started with a simple wish for companionship, and instead, he had become a guardian of the human code. He had proved that humanity's strength was not only in survival or technology, but in thought, creativity, and hope. The seed pulsed gently beside them, its light fading into the soft darkness of night. Ravi could feel its energy, calm and steady, like a heartbeat that connected the colony, the robot, and the distant stars. In the distance, the alien vessels drifted quietly, studying, learning, and remembering. The stars themselves seemed to respond, twinkling as if acknowledging a new understanding of life and thought. Ravi smiled. He had only wanted a simple robot, but the universe had other plans. He had shown that humanity could shape reality with imagination and courage. That was a power that no one could take away, and the stars would always remember. He looked at the horizon, at the red plains and the distant mountains, and felt hope. Humanity had a place among the stars, and he was part of it. The future was uncertain, but for the first time, Ravi knew one truth. No matter what challenges came, humans would continue to dream, create, and shine. The night grew quiet. The wind swept softly across the Martian plains, carrying the hum of the colony, the light of the seed, and the memory of human courage into the universe. Ravi and Unit 9 stood together, looking at the sky, knowing that humanity had left a mark beyond Mars, beyond Earth, and into the vastness of the stars. The stars remembered.